So what I tell people is stop reading research. Stop listening to people that quote research, because you can go find research that says whatever you want. Instead of reading research, go back and review your physiology, which we have known is accepted for centuries and centuries. Why aren't we using that? I'm going to come back to that at the end of this video because I had a fantastic question on that reel that I'm going to address. Okay, so there's leg 1, quackery. Now we have leg 2, fuckery. What physical therapists, chiropractors, athletic trainers, whoever does on a daily basis. So what we're supposed to do as a new grad or a student is go ask the opinions of those that came before us, the experts that are out in the clinics, the people that are certified in dry needling and certified in sports section, APTA, whatever. All right, so where did those people get their information? Well, they got that information from the school system that you, the new grad, just came out of. So they got the same information that you did with the same emphasis on passing boards, not the emphasis on becoming a fantastic clinician, getting to your patient's root cause, assessing and treating that, and getting them phenomenal results in one visit. So they came from the same broken system that you came from. If I learned how to drive from somebody who is a shitty driver, or the person who taught the shitty driver how to drive, what's the odds that I become an elite driver? Not very good, okay? So why would I go ask the opinion of somebody that came out of the same broken system that I did, and now on top of that has 5, 10, 15, 20 years of experience utilizing their broken knowledge to further dig themselves into the broken medical model? So me conferring with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing is not going to help me figure out what I'm doing. So that's why leg 2, working with other professionals and asking their opinions and putting your head together to come up with the answers, is the fuckery leg of the stool, which is why physical therapists use cupping and needling and K-tape and Graston and ART and whatever crap is out there, okay? Because they got that information from somebody that was as clueless as them, who got their information from somebody who was as clueless as them, who came from the same broken educational model that they came from, which is why they're all totally lost and confused, okay? So now let's get to leg 3. Leg 3 is make sure you take your patient's opinion into it. Are you shitting me? When I take my car, well, I have an electric car now, but when I took my car, I had an engine, a gas car. When I took that to the mechanic, I know jack squat about being a mechanic. But I could read an article in Motor Trend, or I could watch a 10-second clip on some TV show about fixing cars and then think that I'm an expert and walk in and tell my mechanic, hey, I don't have the tools at home to do this, but what I want you to do is I want you to reverse the transmission, and then I want you to lick the spark plugs and put those back in, and then give it a 2-elbow shot to the A-frame, and that's going to fix the problem. Do you think my mechanic would be like, oh God, this guy, I've been a mechanic for 15 years. He just told me everything I never knew. No. Do you think I'm going to go into my mechanic and say that? I'm going to say, no, I know jack squat about this. Here's my car. It's doing X, Y, Z. You tell me what's wrong. You fix it. You give me back the car fixed. Why have we as physical therapists got to the point where a patient comes in and says, my next door neighbor got this cupping thing and said it was fantastic. That's what I need. And we go, oh, holy cow. You know what you're talking about. Thank you for telling me how to do my job, because I went to school for 7 years and I'm clueless. When my patients come in and say, I want this, I say, here's why we're not doing that. We don't even have that in our clinic. If I had a patient that came in and said, I need to be K-taped, cupped, massaged, needled, foam rolled, Graston, whatever, I would say, we don't have that here. And here's why we would never do that to one of our patients. Because I'm a doctor that went to school for 7 years that doesn't let people tell me what to do. I don't let clinicians tell me what to do. I don't let physicians, When referring physicians send me a script and they circle dry needling, cupping, K-tape, and my patient says, why are we not going to do that? I say, because your physician is clueless, and that's not going to help your problem. Your physician doesn't even know what your problem is. How can they tell me how to treat it if they don't even know what it is? And then when I do have patients that come in and they say they did get K-taped and cupped and massaged and whatever, and I say, why did they do that? Did you ask them what the purpose of that was? 50% of the time they say, they never explained it, I never asked. The other 50%, they give me some cockamamie story about cupping does this and needling does that. And as I'm working on them, getting to the root cause, and in real time, they understand what I'm doing because I explain what I'm doing and they can see the results immediately. And I say, does that make sense what I just did? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can tell an immediate difference. Okay, now does it make sense that somebody stuck needles in your quads to make your glutes fire or make your abs less tight? Does that make any sense? Nope. Not only does that make any sense, but they never got results, which is why they didn't go back to the person who was using the 3 pillars of evidence-based practice. Okay? So you as a clinician should never, ever, ever do something to a patient treatment-wise that you don't believe in, that you don't understand what is going on, and that you cannot explain on a scientific level. If you cannot explain the physiological aspects and changes that are happening there, why are you using that? Because you can't explain physiology of any of that crap, okay? So that's the third leg of the stool, which is jackassery. So now, and imagine this, the patient that comes in that asks for jackassery, where'd they get that information? Because they heard somebody that went to see a fuckery expert who also used quackery to come up with their thought process. Does that make any sense? No. So here's an excellent question that I had that wraps all this up from somebody on that reel. So anytime somebody asks me a question on Instagram, on the reel, I go look up their profile so I understand what their background is and where they're coming from. So I look this person up and I'm pretty sure it's a layperson with no medical experience. So his fantastic comment or question that he made on the reel was, well, I understand that you're talking about how they should be using science, but if they went to 7 years of college and they're a doctor, didn't they learn science? You would think.